So Petr Yan has been next level violated by the UFC as he's going to be taking on Marcus McGee in what I believe is a 5-round main event in mid-July. Now, there is kind of like a 50-50 on this fight is actually going to be taking place. Some people say it's not officially agreed, and then some people are just posting it. It's on Tapology, so there's some level of credibility here, but I'm going to talk about if this fight is going to happen and if it's not going to happen. What to do with Petr Yan, because he's an absolute killer in the division, and he's been quiet for a bit, okay, since he fought Figueiredo back in November, I believe it was. So we'll talk a little bit about it. So let's say this fight is actually booked. This would be one of the biggest disgraces the UFC has pulled. Now, I'll be real. I honestly just don't see this actually being real. Like, I honestly don't think this is real. So, like, you can't give Petr Yan this guy when he's won his last 2 fights. You just can't. Where's the reasoning? Where's the actual fucking... I'm looking here. Song Yadong, Davison Figueiredo, back-to-back wins, 2 great wins. There's just no way that you can give Yan this guy. You know what I mean? Marcus McGee? What the fuck? Now, it is in... I saw it was like Abu Dhabi or something like that, so maybe they need like a big name. And Marcus McGee... I honestly don't know too much about this guy. Okay, I know he beat Jonathan Martinez in his last fight, but like that's it. Like, do you know what I mean? That's literally how are you giving Yan this guy? There's no way. There's no way. Okay, there's only one fight that makes sense, and that's Nurmagomedov for Petr Yan. That's the only fight the UFC should really make in this situation. Okay, obviously Umar's coming off that loss to Merab. Crazy fight. What a fucking... Wow, that was one of the best events. Oh my lord, that event was unbelievable. That fight was next level shit. And wow, that was an incredible spectacle. But he hasn't really... Like, okay, fair enough, he was outclassing Merab in the first 2 rounds. And if he had another round of gas, he would have won. But he didn't, and he lost. And he only beat Corey Sandhagen really on the come-up, okay? So you can't really say Umar's like gonna be the champion again if he fights Merab. You can't really say Umar's gonna beat Merab in a rematch because that gas tank is insane. Okay, I think O'Malley's kind of like the one who has the best chance for like a Sandhagen, someone that can knock Merab out or catch him with something. Umar's game is just to outclass you, and as much as I think Umar's skill set is better, the cardio is just like of Merab is just insane. Yes, I am wearing a PSG jersey. It is fresh. Who cares? The Yan versus Umar fight makes the most sense. You could stick this as a main event in Abu Dhabi. That's perfect. Literally perfect. You have the name value, and you have the Nurmagomedov name as well. On the other side, Petr Yan's a massive name in the sport. You know, Umar, he fought Sandhagen in Abu Dhabi as well. Make that fight happen instead of this. Maybe Umar is injured. He's always fucking injured. So why don't you just make that fight? Even if this is such a... Like, I can't see it being true. So I really want to focus on Umar and Nurmagomedov here, to be honest, because I think that's the only fight to make. I think that the UFC will make that. Now, if this is true, this Marcus McGee fight, the UFC are still punishing Petr Yan for that fucking knee he threw against Aljamain Sterling. There's no possible explanation for anything else. Nothing else makes sense. Okay, the only reason the UFC are doing this is because he threw that fucking knee against Aljo back in the day. That's the only possible explanation I have for this. Okay, even if you let Yan, let's say the division's kind of booked. Obviously, like the Umar fight's there, the Sandhagen rematch is there. Marcus McGee's not there. This is insane. This is absolutely insane if this is true. I really don't think so. Like, I just can't see it being true. But the Umar fight, how does that go? I think Yan would potentially beat Umar. I think Yan could beat Umar, okay? Because Yan's takedown defense has gotten really good since the Merab fight. And I know a lot of people kind of hold on to that Merab fight in their head. But if you go back and rewatch that, Yan was getting up off of every single takedown. Every single takedown, okay? And we seen Umar gas out against Merab. So that thing of Umar having the gas tank for 5 rounds, it definitely is in kind of jeopardy. We didn't see Yan completely gas out against Merab the same way Umar did. Of course, Yan was tired and Merab won every fucking round. That was one of the most frustrating and annoying fights I've ever watched. I was so mad watching that. But so the gas tank problem with Umar is going to be in our heads now. And we've seen Yan go 5 with Davison Figueiredo. We've seen him pick up a great win against Song Yadong when I believe he lost the first round. You know what I mean? I feel like the last 2 performances really kind of got that Merab thing out of Yan's head. Really got him back on track. And I feel like he's definitely going to have way more of a stand-up threat to compete with Umar than Merab had. Followed by the takedown defense. Yan chopping up that leg, the boxing combinations, his good takedown defense. Now, Umar will get him down. I do think Umar will get him down in this fight at some stage, or multiple stages. Maybe Yan's doing well in the feet. First round, Umar kind of shoots in for like a double sprawl. Yan maybe sprawls and kind of works his way towards back. Or Yan just sprawls and gets back up and keeps going and fucking lights him up on the feet, because Umar's striking is actually very good. That would be an insane fight. I can't see them not making that fight. That's the only fight to make for both of these guys. By far. By fucking far. Okay? Now, a lot of people will argue the Umar fight. Sean O'Malley had a better performance. I've seen some people say that Sean O'Malley had the best performance out of anyone against Umar. Against Merab. I disagree. I really disagree. If you go back and look at that Umar fight, Umar was fucking piecing Merab up in the first 2 rounds. Like, he was purely outclassing him. If he just had, I would not have liked to put Umar Nurmagomedov in that training room 2 weeks later. Khabib was just gonna end him badly with those fucking hill sprints. It would have been brutal. And Usman gassed out as well like a week later. So yeah, they're definitely working hard, I'd say. But the way Umar was outclassing Merab in the first fight, O'Malley just wasn't doing that. He just wasn't, man. He just was not doing that. O'Malley was having success in moments. He was picking his shots very well. You know, teeps and stuff like that. He even hurt Merab in the 5th. I think he took the 5th off Merab, okay? Which no one ever does, okay? No one ever does. Like, I feel like Umar's performance in the first 2 rounds just was so good against Merab. I remember watching that and just being like, holy shit, this guy's fucking class. But then he just gassed out randomly. Am I the only one that kind of felt that? Like, when he got to the stool in the 3rd, he kind of had his head down and stuff. I was like, oh, wow, like that changed like that. And then Merab just went in there and did his thing, okay? But Umar still was pushing, like, you know, Umar's a bit of a dog. But so was Yan. So that's what makes this fight just unbelievable. I think the UFC will do it next. I would be picking Petr Yan to beat Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm gonna fucking say it now, but this Marcus McGee fight, please no. Please no. I don't think so. So I kind of want to talk more about the Yan versus Umar situation. But like, subscribe, all that good shit. Thanks for watching.